just pulled out my concealed carry. I was going to hide under a tree because you guys won't believe it. It's raining. Sometimes you need the rain though. It's like being in Seattle. I have a friend from Seattle. He used to talk about how he craved the rain. Still never made sense to me. Never will, I don't think. But sometimes you get a little rain here and there, and it's a good thing. So you guys can listen to the rain and the wind in the background. Wasn't gonna record today, but woke up fiery, hit a nice workout. I set a scary goal. Very random, very difficult. But yesterday it was like God just dropped it on me. It was like right to my head. Bang. And got me excited. I'm going to go after it. And already the past day, not even 24 hours, I've had 2 workouts doing little movements towards this goal. And it was very humbling. It's going to be like learning a new language for some of this stuff, which you can always do. It becomes harder as you get older, but it's that brute force. I always there's a good Huberman episode on on learning and studying. And it was basically like, if you feel frustrated while you're studying, like it kind of feels like you're climbing a mountain a bit, then that's actually a really good sign. That means you're learning. And I think framing it like that in my head, like once I heard that, it actually made me lean into that feeling a little bit more when I was studying. And that applies to anything, right? Any sort of learning, if it's a little frustrating. So I'm working on some of these movements and they're just not clicking. I remind myself of that. But anyways, I had a great conversation. I've had a series of great conversations with a bunch of people lately, but one of my buddies in particular called me yesterday. Probably will listen to this. And it pumped me up because he had made this internal shift and was just waking up with all this energy, all this gratefulness for life. It was like the 5:30 alarm goes off, which I'm not getting up at 5:30. I still just wake up naturally. But instead of being like, oh, dude, 5:30, how the hell am I going to get after today? I have to go do all of these things, blah, blah, blah. It was like 5:30 alarm goes off. Holy crap. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm not dead. I get to go about the day. I get to go create. I get to go face challenges. I get to go learn. I get to go grow. I get to go experience everything, highs and the lows. And it was just so awesome to hear that. It made me think about how I used to listen to this one guy, which is a whole nother story. Imagine like listening to Joe Rogan all the time, and then one day you just meet Joe Rogan out of nowhere. That happened to me. But basically I listened to him, and I remember one episode he talked about how the best of the best, they're like not grateful. They're like the most ungrateful people. At the time that kind of made sense. It was like, okay, you're ungrateful. That means you're going to go work for all of these things. If you're grateful, you wouldn't do anything. But I think it's the exact opposite. It's like it's almost like a contradiction or just a weird loophole. There's a better word I'm looking for. I can't think of it. But as you become more grateful, the way I've thought about it after talking to my friend yesterday is it makes you actually want to use life. If you're grateful for life, then you see it as an asset. You see it as something that you should dive into, that you should take advantage of, that you should show your gratefulness towards. Like if you're, let's say if you have a car, I don't know, like a new vacuum that you're grateful for. If you're grateful for it, you're going to use it. If you're ungrateful for it, you're just going to let it sit. It's like if you get a gift and you're not grateful, you don't like the gift, you're not going to use the gift. So if you have this gratitude towards life, it makes you want to actually put more into life. So I've kind of come around on that one, where gratitude actually will make you take more action. It'll make you want to do more rather than less, counterintuitively. So I loved hearing that he had that shift. He was taking steps in the right direction. Ido Portal just put out a video. I just plopped it on while I was working out. Super interesting guy. Worked with Conor McGregor. He's all about movement and like spirituality, the mind, body, all these things. Really unique. Just like interesting. Some people think he's weird, but I mean, he is weird, but he's interesting. But he was talking about remembering, and he's like, if you find yourself in these ruts or in these bad places, it's because you forgot a past self where you were in a better spot. It's not something you go find or search. People want to find the answers, read a book, whatever it is. It's about remembering the books you already read. It's about bringing a member of yourself, remembering internally. I thought that was great. I think that also comes from a place of gratitude. If you are looking for something outside of yourself, it's because you're losing that sense of gratitude. And when you have gratitude, it's because you've found it within. So even though it's raining, it's a beautiful day. I had a little podcast my friend had sent me. It was on Skunkworks. I forget the guy's name, but he built all of these planes, super influential, and basically is the cornerstone of SpaceX and a lot of Elon's foundational company philosophies and basically principles. And he's talking about how it's just imperative that the maker, the engineer, the creator is always the one making decisions. You see a lot of more modern companies where they have executives, they have committees making decisions for whatever the product is, whether it's a PM not actually working on the project. That loop is slowly closing with AI, where more PMs can actually just be the ones building the project. Like the engineers become the PMs. But I think it's just so true. Like this morning, I'm using the product I had built while I'm doing my workout. And as the creator, you see all of the inefficiencies that someone else could use the product, have a really good understanding of the product, but they would be blind to all these inefficiencies, all these things that aren't perfect yet. And so as the maker of something, you're the one with the best perspective. You're the one with the vision. Not to say that outside perspectives aren't valuable. This is reflected in the James Dyson autobiography, which if you guys want to read an autobiography, if you're interested in like overcoming adversity, just absolute grit, this autobiography by James Dyson's utterly insane. But he articulates this as one of the principles too. It's like the founder, the creator needs to see whatever the product, whatever the business is through to the end, otherwise it'll likely fail. So, camera's about to die. Threw a couple topics at you guys. Kind of all over the place. But I hope you guys have a wonderful one. And it's time to get after it today. Go kill it.